Everyone. So our topic for today is using Microsoft PowerPoint. Microsoft PowerPoint is a presentation program created by Robert Gaskins and Dennis Austin at a software company named For Truth Incorporated. It was released on April 20, 1987, initially for Macintosh operating system based computer only. Microsoft acquired PowerPoint for $14 million 3 months after it appeared. This was Microsoft's first significant acquisition, and Microsoft set up a new business unit for PowerPoint in Silicon Valley, where Fortauth had been located. The PowerPoint became a component of the Microsoft Office suite, first offered in 1989 for Macintosh and in 1990 for Windows, which bundled several Microsoft apps. Beginning with the PowerPoint 4.0 in 1994, PowerPoint was integrated into Microsoft Office development and adopted shared common components and a converged user interface. Before we may proceed, I just want to lay down the lesson objectives. This lesson introduces you to how to use an application to create simple presentations, including adding slides, images, and adding effects such as animation. Upon completion of this lesson, you should be able to plan and design a presentation, create, save, close, open, and switch between presentation files, move around in a presentation, change views displays, insert, modify, or delete slides, change the layout or order of slides, manipulate text or objects on slides, insert pictures or multimedia objects on slides, animate objects on the slides, apply transition to slides, share presentations with others, and publish slides. Okay, a while ago I'll give you a little bit history of what is Microsoft or what is PowerPoint. PowerPoint is an application program that you can use to create, edit, and manipulate slides for on-screen presentation, send via email, or to promote product or services on a web page. This presentation can be delivered to live audiences or viewed individually by others at their convenience. You can enter text, draw objects, create charts, or add graphics. You can choose to deliver a presentation to a live audience or broadcast or share it over the internet. So what does a presentation include? The PowerPoint presentation is used to build a presentation slide by slide. Those slides shown in order make up your presentation. Different slide types serve different functions. So we have title slide. The opening slide that introduces the subject of the presentation. It usually includes the title or topic and a subtitle. The subtitle might be the presenter's name or the presenting organization's name, or it might be the date and location of the presentation. Agenda slide. This slide usually lists the titles of all the slides in your presentation. It is often the second slide and provides an overview of what will be covered and can help the viewer grasp the flow of the presentation. Title and content slide. The most frequently used layout that controls which placeholders appear on a slide. A title and content slide is commonly referred to as a bulleted list slide because it includes a title and a bulleted list of the key points the speaker wants to discuss. Bullet points should be brief, concise, and clear. Support content slide. Add various kinds of content to your presentation using different content layouts. Content can include text, design elements, diagrams, videos, tables, charts, sounds, animation, or special transitions from slide to slide. We have also a summary slide. This is the last slide in the presentation and reviews your presentation, reinforces the key messages, and provides contact information for further details. Looking at the edit screen, as with all Office applications, once you start PowerPoint, you see the backstage view where you can create a new blank presentation. Use a pre-designed template to create the new presentation or open an existing presentation. A new blank presentation is shown in this figure. So we have slide thumbnails, split bar, slide pane, placeholder, and notes pane. The slide thumbnails refer to the thumbnail of miniature of the slide in this area to quickly view the contents of slides or the flow of the slides in a presentation. You can also use this view to move quickly to a particular slide. Placeholder. Use these boxes on the slides for hints on the type of content you can insert onto the slide. So we have also slide pane, used for entering or viewing the contents of the slide. Split bar, drag to increase or decrease the size of the outline or slides tab, or to increase or decrease the size of the slide pane. We have also notes pane, type presentation notes such as speaker notes, reminders of actions, and so on here. These notes are for the presenter's use and are not visible to the audience. Actually, you can show or hide this pane by clicking the Notes button on the status bar. Understanding basic terminology. Each slide includes placeholders, a dashed line box with a tip that tells you what you can use the box for. The blank slide layout, however, does not include placeholders. You can click inside a placeholder to insert text or an object. When you see placeholder with various icons, point at an icon in the box to display a screen tip indicating the type of object to insert. Click that icon to insert it on the slide. To move from one placeholder to another on a slide, to enter items, click in the placeholder or just press Ctrl plus Enter. Working with presentation. When PowerPoint starts, it opens in Backstage where you can choose to create a new presentation or open an existing presentation. In creating presentations, there are three common methods to create a presentation in PowerPoint. Blank presentation. Provides a blank presentation with only a title slide. Of course, no color or design elements. Add your own content and apply your own colors, backgrounds, images, and so on. We have also templates. Use a pre-designed presentation with suggestions for text and application of colors, backgrounds, images, and so on. And you can type the text and make design changes. Reuse slides. Insert one or more slides from existing presentation to the current presentation. You can also specify whether inserted slides retain the original formatting or use the formatting in the current presentation. To create a new blank presentation, click the File tab, click New, and then click Blank Presentation. You can also press Ctrl+N to create a new blank presentation. Use this keyboard shortcut to create a new blank document type in any Office application. So, to create a new blank presentation, click the File tab, click New, and then Blank Presentation. So, to create a new presentation using a template, click the File tab, then click New. You can click a template, enter criteria in the search field, or use the categories to narrow the search to a specific type of presentation you would like to create. Each template, with the exemption of blank presentation, has a set of pre-designed colors and styles drawn from commonly used elements in presentations. And some templates may also include slides with text as a guide to the type of information you might want to include. Before creating your presentation, plan your presentation in draft form. This can save your time and keep you on track. Keep the text consistent in format and layout. Too many variations can be distracting. Remember that text is generally read from left to right, top to bottom. Keep the number of colors used to a minimum. Too many colors on the slide can be distracting and detract from the messages or the message. Use contrast to emphasize a message, such as dark text on a light background or light text on a dark background. Keep the number of bullet points per slide to a minimum. The standard maximum is 6 points per slide, and make your points brief as you want the audience to pay attention to what you're saying, not what you're displaying. Be consistent with special effects. For graphs or charts, keep the information to a minimum or split the information onto several slides. Remember the rule: if it takes you a long time to create the slide, it will take just as long for the audience to read and understand it. Add pictures or tables only when relevant for emphasis. Too much information can be distracting and cause confusion. Insert the presentation clearly, identifies you to the audience. The appearance and delivery of the presentation can determine how successful you are in reaching and influencing your audience. Entering text on a slide. Use the slide pane to insert or modify items on a slide. Placeholders clearly appear on the slides and serve as a guide concerning where to enter a text. You can add formatting to existing items on the slide or simply add another item for the slide. We need to take note that the slide pane and the slide thumbnails pane are two different areas with different purposes. Because the slide thumbnails pane display miniatures, or also known as thumbnails, of your slides so you can see how the information flows or appears in different areas of the presentation. You cannot make changes directly to the slide in this view, as this is an instant preview of the contents in the presentation only, while the slide pane is the default view for working with slide contents. Use the split bar between the slide thumbnails pane and slide pane to know more or less of each pane. For example, To display more of the slide pane, drag the split bar to the left to shrink the size of each slide thumbnail. Saving a presentation. It is important to save your presentation as you work to prevent having to recreate a presentation file in the case of a power or computer failure. To save a new presentation or to save changes to an existing presentation, click the File or click the File tab and then click Save. Actually, you can also click the Save button on the Quick Access toolbar or just simply press Ctrl+S to quickly save a presentation. And these methods can be used in any Office application. So, the first time you save a presentation, you will see the Save As tab of the Backstage view. PowerPoint displays the default folder such as Documents or a folder designated by your school or organization. Select a location in the left pane and click to navigate to the specific folder as required. Once the path has been selected, click in the file name field and type the name of the presentation file. By default, PowerPoint saves all presentation files with the .pptx file format. To save an existing file with a different name, click the File tab and then Save As. If you need to save the file in another format, click the arrow for the Save As type field to select the appropriate file type. This option is very useful when you need to consider which file format may be compatible for other users who need to share this presentation. For instance, you may need to save the presentation in a file format for a previous version of PowerPoint, or you want to send the presentation in a PDF file format so no one can make changes directly to the presentation file. Opening or closing a presentation. Once you have finished working with a presentation, save and close it to clear the screen. To close a presentation, click the File tab and then click Close. You can also press Ctrl+W or Ctrl+F4 or click the Close button for the application. And you can use these methods in any Office application. In opening a presentation, you can open a presentation file using one of the following methods. Click the File tab, click Open, and if the file is one you recently worked on, click the file from the list in the second pane that is organized by date, or click the File tab, click Open. If the file is in another location than the default PowerPoint offers, click the arrow to navigate to the folder where the file is saved. Select the file and then click Open. Whenever you click the displayed path above the list of files, the Open dialog box will open. And you can also press Ctrl+O to display the list of recent files or to navigate to the location of the required file. And this can be done in all Office applications. If the file was saved in the file format other than the default PowerPoint presentation format, click the path to display the Open dialog box and then click the All PowerPoint Presentations button to display the file formats available. If you open a file that was saved from an attachment in an email, Protected View will display an information bar requesting you to enable editing in the file before you can make changes to it. The Protected View feature protects you from the possibility of opening a file that may contain a virus. Always save and scan any attachment you receive via email before opening the file in the application program. Alternatively, you can apply this feature when opening a presentation to prevent accidental changes being made to the file. Displaying information in the presentation. To change the view of the presentation on the View tab, in the Presentation Views group, click one of the following options. Normal. Display the slide thumbnails, slide and notes panes. Slide sorter. Shows multiple miniature slides on the screen in a linear manner for rearranging or sorting. Reading view. View in a full screen to show the contents of each slide similar to how your audience will see them. And slideshow. Runs the slideshow for your review or for you to present to your audience. To change the magnification for the presentation, use one of the following. On the far right of the status bar, click the button on either side of the zoom slider bar to zoom in or out by 10% at a time, or click the 100% of zoom level button to select a specific size or zoom percentage. Or click the Fit Slide to Current window button to quickly maximize the size of the slide on the screen from its previous zoom percentage. Managing the slide. As you begin to work with a presentation, it will likely evolve. So for example, you may need to insert new slides, copy a particular slide, and paste it into a new location. Delete or hide a slide, or reorganize slides for better flow. Inserting new slides. Every presentation or every new presentation begins with a title slide, and PowerPoint will automatically insert a title in content layout as a second slide. You can change the layout of this slide as required. You can insert a new slide into your presentation at any time. The new slide will be inserted directly before the current slide select. And to insert a new slide, use one of the following methods. On the Home tab, in the Slides group, click New Slide to insert a slide with the same layout previously used. Or, to insert a new slide with a specific layout on the Home tab, in the Slides group, click the down arrow for New Slide. And then, click the layout required. You notice that you are presented with a variety of slide layouts, and that the order in which they display follows the standard progression for a presentation. That is, start with a title slide and then choose the appropriate content layouts based on the information you want to show. Actually, you can also press Ctrl+M to quickly insert a new slide using the same slide layout previously used. Changing the layout. By default, a new presentation starts with the title slide layout and the next slide user a title and content layout. You can change the layout of this or any slide at any time. To change the layout for a slide, on the Home tab, in the Slide group, click Layout. Click the layout that you want to use and it will be applied to the current slide. Changing the slide layout. You can add a background to the slide at any time, and this can be a color, pattern, or picture. As with applying any formatting to a presentation, be careful of the colors and effects used to ensure the audience is not distracted from the message of the presentation. To add a background to a slide, click the Design tab, and in the Customize group, click Format Background. When you select another option than color, different fields will appear to match the selection. And for instance, if you choose to fill the background with a picture, two additional background options appear, giving you the opportunity to choose from three lists of the picture. And you can also select to add the background to the current slide only or to all slides. Deleting slides. When you no longer need a slide in the slide thumbnails pane or outline view, select the slide and press delete. Rearranging the slide. As you work with a presentation, you may want to change the order of the slides to achieve better flow of information. To rearrange the order of the slides, in the slide sorter view, click and drag the slide to its new location. The slide will display with a red outline to show you where the slide will be inserted when you release the mouse button. Managing slide objects. An object is any shape, picture, media clip, chart, or text box inserted into a slide. To make changes to an object, first select or highlight it, then you can delete or replace the object, indent text, cut, copy or paste the item into another location, or add formatting. Using select versus edit mode. The circles that appear around a selected object are called handles. They verify that the object is selected and you can make changes to it. You can size the object using one of the following methods. Click a handle on a horizontal or vertical sides and then drag to adjust the width or height, or click a corner handle to size two adjacent sides of the object. When the border around the text box is dashed line, you are in edit mode and you can select specific areas of the text in the box for changes. To select a specific text within the placeholder, click and drag to select the text. When edit mode is active, you can also select non-consecutive pieces of text by pressing the control key as you select each piece of text you want. When the border around a placeholder is a solid line, you are in select mode and can affect the entire contents of the object. The activate select mode quickly position the mouse pointer on one of the borders of the placeholder and then click when you see the double plus sign or mouse pointer with four-headed arrow. To select multiple placeholders, click the first placeholder and press Shift or Control as you click to select other placeholders. Manipulating text. PowerPoint provides many ways to manipulate or edit selected text or placeholders, including inserting additional text or deleting existing text. To insert text, click in the placeholder or display the blinking insertion point and then move to where you want to enter the new text and start typing. To delete text, use backspace or delete. Occasionally, you may want to insert text into your presentation from another presentation or from another location in the current presentation. Instead of retyping the information, you can use the cut, copy, and paste commands. To cut or move an item, select the item first and then on the Home tab in the clipboard group, click Cut. To copy an item, first select the item and then on the Home tab in the clipboard group, click Copy. And to paste an item, first place the insertion point where you want to paste the item and then on the Home tab in the clipboard group, click Paste. Actually, you can use also Press Ctrl plus X to cut an item, Ctrl plus C to copy an item, or Ctrl plus V to paste the item. And this key are commonly used in other applications. PowerPoint uses the clipboard to temporarily store any cut or copied items such as text or graphics, and you can paste whenever you choose. To display the clipboard task pane on the Home tab in the Clipboard group, click the Clipboard dialog box launcher. Checking the spelling. The spelling feature in PowerPoint provides various options when checking for spelling errors, including custom dictionaries for special items or terms. The spelling feature works in the background to check for spelling mistakes as you type. And when PowerPoint detects a mistake, a wavy red line displays underneath the text. And you can correct the mistakes immediately or wait until you are finished creating the presentation. PowerPoint also displays proofing icons at the left of the status bar to indicate when PowerPoint detects no errors and when it detects a possible spelling error. To perform a manual spell check on the entire presentation, press F7. Remember that the performing a spell check assures only the accuracy of the spelling in your slide. You should still proofread your presentation to ensure you are using the correct words. Formatting text. Formatting refers to a process of changing the appearance and positions of objects on a slide. Font. Font describes the typeface of characters on the screen and in print such as Courier New or Bradley. Font size refers to the height of the characters. As characters get taller, they also grow wider. Character formatting refers to the special stylized variation applied to plain characters to make them stand out from other text. They include bold, italics, and various kinds of underlines. Effects. Apply special effects to the text such as strike through, superscript, subscript, character spacing, small caps, and so on. The font group in the Home tab enables quick, easy access to commonly used character formatting options directly from the ribbon. The mini toolbar provides similar access to commonly used formatting options and provides a mixture of character and paragraph formatting buttons. This toolbar appears only when you select text. Once you move the mouse pointer away from the selection, you will need to select the text again to display this toolbar. Aligning text. Each built-in slide layout aligns text according to defaults set for the layout. Occasionally, you may want to change text alignment. And to change the alignment on the Home tab in the paragraph group, click the appropriate alignment option. So you have align left, align right, center, and justify. Add pictures to any slide using the Pictures command. Pictures can move from a variety of sources, such as the clip organizer, save picture files, scan photographs, the Microsoft Office website, and so on. And to insert picture file, use one of the following methods. On the Insert tab in the Images group, click Pictures, or when creating or changing a slide layout, select one that contains a content placeholder, then click Pictures to insert a picture from a saved location. In addition to choosing a picture saved on your computer or network, you can also search and then insert pictures from online sources such as Bing. And note that pictures obtained from online sources are often copyrighted, and you should follow the rules for copyright and fair use principles. To insert a picture from the internet, position the mouse pointer on the slide at approximately the location where you want to add the graphic, and then use one of the following methods. When creating or changing a slide layout, select one of the contains a content placeholder, then click the online pictures icon, or on the insert tab in the image group, click online pictures. You can enter the search criteria in the Bing image search field and press enter. Note that by default, the set of pictures shown are covered by the Creative Commons license, and you can freely use these images in your documents without worry about copyright infringement. If you require pictures other than the ones provided with this search result, click the arrow for the CC Only button and click All Images. Be careful that you are not violating someone's copyright when you use images from the internet. Image, sound, and video files can all be copyrighted. It is your responsibility to attribute proper credit for copyrighted image that do not belong to you or your company. You can point at the bar across the bottom of an image to view information that may help you determine if you need to take steps to avoid copyright infringement. Manipulating the pictures. Manipulating pictures refers to sizing, moving, or otherwise modifying pictures. When you select a picture, the Picture Tools Format tab displays tools to help manipulate parts of the picture. Consider the following when working with pictures in PowerPoint. You must select the picture, displaying its handles before you can make changes to it. To increase or decrease the size of a picture, click and drag one of the handles. To move a picture, position to the mouse pointer anywhere inside the picture, and when you see the 4 slide arrows, click and drag the picture. To rotate the picture, click and drag the green handle to an angle required. To insert a picture without using a picture placeholder, you may need to reapply an appropriate slide layout or adjust the individual placeholders on the slide. You cannot wrap text around the picture, and you can either put the picture into a separate placeholder or manipulate the text so that it appears to wrap around the picture. To reduce parts of the picture, you can crop and pick the picture horizontally, vertically, or to a shape. Inserting media objects. One advantage of using presentation is the ability to include multimedia files such as videos, music, or links to web pages that provide more information. To insert a media file, on the Insert tab in the Media group, click Video or Audio. You can also click the Insert Video icon in a slide layout that contains icons for content. Once you insert the media file on a new ribbon for Video Tools or Audio Tools, appears with 2 tabs for you to manipulate the video or the audio file. Animating objects. You can animate objects in text to increase the effectiveness of your slideshow. You can also customize how the text, objects, and graphics enter or become visible when the slide display or how they exit or disappear from view. You can also use animation to emphasize objects on the slide. And to add animation, on the Animation tab in the Animation group, click More to display the animation gallery. After applying an animation, you can show or choose how the animation will make its entrance or exit. And you can add special effects to add emphasis. Once you choose an animation, you can set a specific option for the animation using a timing group. Try to be consistent in the number and style of animation schemes used on the slide. Consider your audience and choose the speed and effects accordingly, because too many variations can be distracting. Remember, that you may want to keep some elements such as titles, static, during the show to provide a focal point for your audience. Okay, so as what I have here, the animation pane or customizing the animation. You can adjust or customize how animation will occur during the presentation, as well as the speed and direction of animation, in the order in which text or objects appear on the slide. For instance, you may want the bullet points to appear one bullet at a time so your audience does not focus on the other text on your slide. Or you can also set an item to dim after it appears on the slide. To customize the animation on the Animation tab, in the Advanced Animation group, click Animation Pane. As you select each element to be animated, PowerPoint provides options that control when or the element will appear. Be sure to check the speed and timing for each animation and play it to be sure it works well. As you apply animation to elements on a slide, PowerPoint places numbered boxes on the slide to indicate the order in which the items will appear. The animation pane will also list the animation in numeric order. You can rearrange the elements by using the reorder arrows near the top of the pane. Alternatively, you can drag an item to the required location and the number for the animations on the slide automatically reset themselves accordingly. You can customize animation using the effect options. Commands for each animation type. The number or types of effects vary with the effect command chosen. Be sure to test each animation prior to setting up for final presentation. When you no longer want or need an animation, remove it from the animation pane list. Animation options and effects vary from one animation to another. Use care when adding animation and effects, and always play or preview all the animation on your slide to be sure they appear in the proper order and that they remain visually appealing and are not overwhelming. Proper preview and preparation are important, whether you animate all or only some of the elements on your slides. Applying the slide transitions. Slide transition are special effects that you can apply as you move from one slide to the next during a slideshow. Try to be consistent in the type of transitions you use between specific types of slides, such as bulleted, lists, or charts, as too much variation can distract your audience. To apply a slide transition, on the Transitions tab, in the Transitions to this slide group, click More to display all transition styles in the gallery. You can then point at a transition to preview it for the current slide, and you can customize the transition by adding sound or changing the speed. You can also add transition to one slide only or to all the slide in the presentation. You can use the options in the timing group on the Transition tab to apply the currently selected transition to all the slide in the presentation. You can also use the option here to specify how your slides should advance. For example, will a speaker present the show and click to advance to each new slide, or will the slices advance automatically after displaying for a specific amount of time, such as for self-paced training purposes, or to capture the interest of viewers as they walk by your exhibition booth at the trade show. So you can use the option in the timing group on the Transition tab to apply the current selected transition to all of the slides in the presentation. And you can also use that options here to specify how your slide should advance. Setting up a slideshow. You can set up options for how the presentation will appear before or after you create your presentation. To set up options for your slideshow, on the Slideshow tab in the Setup group, click Set up a Slideshow. So, Setup Show, Display Show Type, Show Options, Show Slides, Advanced Slides, and others. Use the option here to specify how you want to deliver your presentation, such as with a speaker, run on a computer at your booth, or in a window within a web browser. You can also configure the presentation to support multiple monitors. Viewing the slideshow. To start a slideshow, click Slideshow from the View buttons in the status bar. The slideshow display in full screen mode by default at the end of the slideshow. PowerPoint displays a black screen with the message End of Slideshow. Click to exit. At the top, indicating that the slideshow has ended. When running a slideshow, you can set PowerPoint to advance the slide automatically at set time intervals, or you can advance the slides manually. To advance slides manually, click to move to the next slide or to display bullets, points, or objects on the slide. To present a slideshow on another monitor or on a projector, you must consider both hardware components and software settings. This will be the hardware considerations. Video cables. You need to ensure that you have the correct cable to connect from the video output port on your computer to the video input port on the second monitor or the projector or HD televisions. Most devices support VGA and either DVI or HDMI. If your device do not have a port in common, or if both devices use the same technology but require different size connectors, be sure to bring an adapter so that you can adapt the video output to the receiving device. Audio cables. If your slideshow includes embedded sound or video, you must ensure that the sound will be played back clearly and at a sufficient volume. If you are using an HDMI connection and you are sending output to a projection device that includes speakers such as HDTV, then both picture and audio can be sent via the HDMI cable. If you are using the VGA cable, then you must send audio signals to the projection device separately using standard audio cables with connectors that will match the audio input ports on the projection device. If you are presenting your slideshow on projection device that does not include speakers, then you must ensure that your own device has sufficient sound output, or you can attach good quality speakers on your computer or to your computer. If you will need to amplify your own voice as you deliver your presentation, you will need a microphone that can connect to an amplifier and speaker. So, we have the sample figures for HDMI cable, a standard to many HDMI adapter, and a standard audio cable with 3.5 mm connectors. We need to take note that when you connect your computer to an external display, the operating system will detect the additional hardware. You will need to specify to the operating system whether you want to mirror your desktop on the external display or extend your desktop across both displays. For details on configuring an external display, visit again our lessons about computer fundamentals, connecting peripherals, or the hardware discussion. Using presenter view. To display a slideshow on another monitor or projection device, do one of the following. On the slideshow tab, in the setup group, click Setup Slideshow, then click the arrow to Slideshow Monitor and select the appropriate monitor and click OK. On the Slideshow tab, in the Monitor groups, click the arrow for Monitor and select the appropriate monitor. When you run the slideshow, it will appear in full screen or another monitor or projection device. while your primary monitor stays in PowerPoint mode. If you turn on Use Presenter View with your secondary monitor, your primary monitor will change from PowerPoint display mode to the view shown in the following figure when you run the slideshow. Notice the icons, the slide that you can use a presenter rather than trying to find the icon at the lower right of the monitor that the audience is viewing. This view is very useful as it shows your content of the current slide as well as the contents of the next slide, so you can see the flow of the presentation or make adjustments as questions from the audience arise. Another benefit of using this view is that you can see the speaker notes on the current slide and can adjust the font size of the notes using the buttons at the lower left. To stop the slideshow, at any point, press Escape. Sharing the presentation. There are a number of ways to share a presentation, and the method you choose depends on what you want to share and who you want to share it with. Because sharing is a file management task, it is accomplished using either the Share tab or the Export tab in the Backstage view. Using the Share tab, use the options on the Share tab to share your presentation as a whole. From the Share tab, you can save your presentation to a cloud location and then provide access to others. Send your presentation as an email attachment. You can attach your presentation as a presentation file, a PDF document, an XPS file, which can be viewed but not edited in the XPS viewer. You can also elect to send the presentation as fax transmission over the internet. Present your presentation online in a video conference using Skype for Business. Publish the presentation slides to your organization, SharePoint size, or slide library. Send the presentation file as an attachment in instant messages. And another thing, you may record your presentation. After recording your presentation, you just save as the MP4 format. Using the Export tab. So actually, this one is the option in Export tab to generate presentation output in other file formats. So as you can see here, we have create PDF, create a video, package presentation for CD, create handouts, and change file type. From the Export tab, you can create a PDF or XPS document. In contrast to simply dumping the output of the entire presentation into a PDF file that will be attached to an email. When you create a PDF or XPS from the Export tab, you can specify which slide to include, whether to include comments and ink markup, whether to include document properties, and whether to print slides in the output. Save the presentation as MP4 video file, as I mentioned earlier, that can be played back on a variety of personal devices. You can burn the video to a disk or upload into a website or email it to the attachment, or you just simply upload to your YouTube account. Actually, I have a video presentation on how you'll be able to convert Microsoft PowerPoint into video. I will give that link of that said video later at about of the last part of this presentation. Create handouts in Word. Handouts include pictures or slides and text notes which are exported to a Word document. You can control the layout of the output, and you can opt to generate an outline of the presentation using the outline only option. Change the file types of your presentation. You can save the presentation as one of the several presentation of file types. A series of image files like JPG or PNG, suitable for printing or displaying on a website. As I mentioned earlier, another file type like MP4. Selecting this option opens the Save As dialog box, from which you can select an option in the Save As type drop-down list. Create handouts in Word. Handouts are documents audience members can take with them after viewing a presentation. Because PowerPoint create handouts in a Word, you can edit and format them. To create handouts, click the File tab, click Export, and then click Create Handouts. Click Create Handouts to view the option for creating the Word document. You can select a layout and specify how you want the slide inserted into the Word document. Select Paste to insert the slide themselves. If you select Paste Link, then you would also need to original PowerPoint presentation in order to see the slides in the Word document. Once the handout document is created, the Word icon will flash in the Windows taskbar. You must save the Word file if you want to keep it. Publishing the presentation. If your organization or company uses SharePoint or another network storage system that provides a central location for employees or members to store and share files, you can publish your presentation slides. When you publish slide, PowerPoint saves its slide as an individual file. PowerPoint automatically names its slide file with a presentation file name and a number, such as Exploring Settle Proposal.004, and this can be helpful when you need to find a particular slide. You can change the file name in the file name column of the Publish Slides dialog box. You can reuse published slides in multiple presentations. So for example, you may want to reuse a slide with your company mission statement, organization structure, or contact information. To publish a presentation on the File tab, click Share in the Share panel, click Publish Slides, and then click the Publish Slides button. Within the Publish Slides dialog box, select the slides you want to publish and then specify a location for the slide to be stored. You can publish directly to a shared location or publish to a local location and then move the published files to a shared location later. Printing the slide. You can print the slides in the presentation in various ways, such as one or more slides per page, as handouts, in format that includes notes, grayscale, and so on. These methods can be selected using the print options. And this will be my references. CCI Learning Solutions 2016, page 371 to 409. Abante M Basic Office Application Unbuilt Publishing Inc. Abante M ICT Empowerment MS Office Application Unlimited Books Incorporated. Then later on I will add, of course, the link for my video regarding on how we will be able to convert your PowerPoint presentation into a video file. And this will be my information. So before we end, I just want to give you the summary. This presentation taught you how to use PowerPoint to create simple presentation, including adding slides, images, animation, and transition. You also learn how to share PowerPoint elements, and you should now be able to plan and design a presentation. Create, save, close, open, and switch between presentation files. Move around in a presentation. Change view displays. Insert, modify, or delete slides. Change the layout or order of slides. Manipulate text of objects on slides. Insert pictures or multimedia objects on slides. Animate objects on the slide. Apply transition to slides. Share presentation with others. And publish slides. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Good luck. Enjoy the rest of the semester. God bless everyone.